Welcome to Golden Storytime, where every story touches your heart. Today's story, A Mother's Promise, will remind you of the power of love, sacrifice, and a mother's never-ending hope. Part 1. The beginning. It was a small town, where dreams were often too big for small pockets. Amna, a single mother, worked day and night in a bakery to support her little son, Ali. Even when life gave her nothing, she smiled, because her son was her whole world. Every night, she whispered to Ali, "One day, you'll study in the best school, my son, I promise." Ali believed her, because to him, his mother's words were magic. Part 2. The struggle days turned into years. Amna worked double shifts, sometimes skipping meals, saving every single rupee for Ali's education. But fate wasn't kind. One night, her boss told her, "Amna, we're closing the bakery. I'm sorry." She stood there, silent, with dreams breaking inside her. Yet, she smiled for her son. "Don't worry, Ali. Mama will find another job." But deep inside, she was scared of failing her promise. Part 3. The hidden gift. Ali noticed her sadness. He stopped buying snacks after school. He secretly saved coins in a small tin box, writing on it for Mama's promise. On her birthday, he handed her the box. "Mama, this is for my school. We'll do it together." Tears rolled down Amna's eyes, not because of the money, but because of the love her little boy carried. Part 4. The miracle. Months passed. One day, the town announced a scholarship exam. Ali studied under a streetlight every night, his mother sitting beside him, whispering, "You can do it, my son. I believe in you." The result day came, and Ali's name was on top. He had won a full scholarship. Amna cried, holding the letter tight. Amna cried, holding the letter tight. Her promise had finally come true. Ending lesson. Years later, Ali became a successful engineer. At his graduation ceremony, he said, "This degree belongs to my mother, who never stopped believing." A mother's love is not measured by what she gives, but by what she sacrifices. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Golden Storytime, where every tale reminds you that love, family, and hope never fade. Welcome to Golden Storytime, where every story touches your heart. Today's story, A Mother's Promise, will remind you of the power of love, sacrifice, and a mother's never-ending hope. In a small, weathered cottage nestled at the foot of a rolling hill, lived a woman named Ilara and her young son, Leo. Life was a constant struggle. Their meals were often meager, and the harsh winds of winter seemed to find every crack in their tiny home. Ilara worked tirelessly from dawn till dusk, her hands rough and calloused from mending clothes for the wealthier families in town. Every penny she earned was saved, not for herself, but for a dream she held tightly in her heart, a dream for Leo. One chilly evening, as Ilara counted the few coins she had earned, Leo, with his big, innocent eyes, tugged at her sleeve. "Mama," he whispered, his voice small, "why do you always look so tired? Are you saving for something special?" Ilara pulled him onto her lap, her heart aching with a mix of love and sorrow. She hugged him close, inhaling the sweet scent of his hair. "I'm saving for your future, my love," she said softly. "I promise you, one day you will go to the grand school in the city. You'll learn and grow and become whatever you want to be. You won't have to mend clothes like me." Leo looked up at her, his expression serious. "But I want to be just like you, Mama. "You're the strongest person I know." From that day on, a quiet determination grew in Leo's heart. He saw his mother skipping meals so he could eat a little more. He saw her mending clothes late into the night by the dim light of a single candle, her eyelids heavy with sleep. His little heart couldn't bear it. So, he started his own secret mission. He would wake up before the sun, tiptoeing out of the cottage to collect fallen branches and he would arrange them into small, neat bundles and sell them for a few pennies at the village market. He'd hide his tiny earnings in a loose floorboard, dreaming of the day he could give them to his mother and see her smile without the shadow of worry in her eyes. Months turned into years. Leo was a bright boy, excelling in the small village school. He devoured every book he could get his hands on, his mind as hungry as his stomach often was. His secret stash of coins grew, but it was still a pittance compared to the cost of the city school. One day, a notice was posted in the village square. The grand city school was offering a full scholarship to one student from the region who could pass a difficult entrance exam. Hope, bright and dazzling, ignited within Alara. This was it. This was their chance. She spent her entire savings not on food or new clothes, but on books and study materials for Leo. "This is everything, Leo," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "This is my dream for you." The pressure was immense, but Leo was driven by the image of his mother's tired face. He studied relentlessly, the words on the pages blurring together late at night. He remembered her promise, her sacrifice, and the weight of her love propelled him forward. The day of the exam arrived. Ilara walked him to the edge of the village, her hands clutching his tightly. "Just do your best, my love," she whispered, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "That is all I've ever asked." Leo nodded, his heart pounding in his chest, and walked toward the biggest challenge of his life. Weeks later, a letter arrived. It was thick and sealed with the crest of the city school. Ilara's hands shook so much she could barely open it. She read the words and then read them again, her eyes welling up. Tears of pure, unadulterated joy streamed down her face. Leo had not only passed, he had received the full scholarship. That evening, as they celebrated with a simple but special meal, Leo retrieved his hidden treasure from under the floorboard. He poured the collection of coins, years of his secret effort, into his mother's hands. "This was for you, Mama," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "So you wouldn't have to work so hard anymore." Ilara looked at the pile of coins, then at her son, her beautiful, compassionate son. She pulled him into the tightest hug, her heart overflowing. Her dream had been for him to go to school, but her real dream, the one she hadn't even dared to speak aloud, had just come true. She had raised a good man. Years later, Leo did become a great scholar, but he never forgot where he came from. He built a beautiful new house for his mother, right where their little cottage once stood, with a large garden where her hands could tend to flowers instead of mending clothes. Ilara's promise had been fulfilled, but it was Leo's love that had truly colored their world in gold. And that's the story of a mother's promise. It shows us that a mother's love is a powerful force that can shape destinies, and that the love a child gives back is the most precious reward of all. Thank you for joining us on Golden Storytime. We hope this story warmed your heart. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, share it with someone you love, and subscribe for more touching tales. We'll see you next time.